Good afternoon. Welcome to your favorite current affairs program, a weekly current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egosa Agbalao. On today's program, we'll be taking a look at preparations for the 2023 election. We're looking at different facets of the preparation. Today, we are looking at security and politicking ahead of the 2023 election. And joining me to dissect this all-important national issue, we have the president of United Democracies, a pressure group, a communication strategist, and also is a renowned politician in Oredo, talking about Ambassador of Peace, Andrew Eigalua. Nice to have you on the program today.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
We also have with us a clergyman, a highly respected clergyman, and an analyst who comments on national issues, especially now that there are so many issues to discuss. Dr. Emeka Ekuga does not just restrict himself to the pulpit, but he also he also gives time to analyzing national issues. Nice to have you on the program.
Thank you,
Dr. Emeka Ekuga.
We are moving.
Okay. So, like I told you, we are looking at security and politicking. Now, for politicking, you know that so many people have spoken about what happened as regards the nomination forms for the two major political parties, where the APC gave our nomination an expression of interest form, presidential, for 100 million. That actually generated reactions. We've discussed that on the program. The PDP, 40 million. And so many people say, oh, that's too much, and that youths cannot afford that. But the latest as regard that has to do with the Federal Executive Council, where the president directed that those with political ambition, those who intend to seek for political office, seek for elective office in 2023 election, should resign and pursue their political ambition. That brought a drama, or that created drama in the country. The Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige, did not resign and quickly announced that he has dropped his presidential ambition. Now, the Attorney General of the Federation did not resign, but also informed Nigerians that he has dropped his governorship ambition. The Minister of State for Petroleum, our Niger Delta brother, also announced that he has dropped his presidential ambition. You know, just like that. But some resigned. Minister of Transport, former Rivers State Governor Amici, continued with his quest to be president of Nigeria and some others. So, on that premise, we'll be starting discussion today. I will start with Ambassador Andrew Eigalua. Are you surprised that so many people dropped their presidential ambition, dropped their political ambition for 2023 just to maintain their office as minister and remain in the Federal Executive Council?
Well, I will say, I wonder how people think. There are issues in your life that is critical.
Okay.
Before you go out to the, considering who you are, your personality.
Yes.
Before you go out to the public to say, I want to do this, I want to do that, first and foremost, it's an intra-personal conflict.
Yeah.
You meet your family members, you discuss your issues with them. Then after arriving at a conclusion, before you go to your political mates and tell them informally, then you discuss, before you go to the general public to say, oh, I want to contest for presidency or governorship. And once you take such a decision, there's no going back.
Okay.
It's not a child's play.
Yes.
You cannot take such critical decisions after 2 minutes or 5 days, I'm not doing it. That means you are incapable. Even the position you are holding as a minister, you are not supposed to be there. Because I would think some decisions that you take there, you don't even think before taking them. How can you come out and tell people you want to contest for presidency all of a sudden? And some of them even dropped resignation letter, picked up the form, and you are coming back to say, no, I did not resign again. I want to continue as a minister. If I were in the president's shoes, you won't continue because you don't even know what you want as a human being and as a person. And you can't even be a governor or a president of the nation. That is how you are going to be dilly-dallying with decisions of the country. You will say one thing today, we say the other one tomorrow. So I think is the president to use it as a deterrent to other public office holders that will come and be playing on the intelligence of Nigerians. Are you looking for publicity or what? What is the yardstick for coming to say this thing tomorrow you are doing another thing? The position of the governor, for God's sake, it's not a child's play. You know, in Nigeria, this is Africa. Most times we get away with certain things because we have money. If, peradventure, you continue as a governorship aspirant and eventually you now win, is that how you are going to be taking decisions today, tomorrow you change it? It will draw the state back. And maybe because you have money to bulldoze your way through, you become the governor or you become the president. You are governing a state with about 10 million citizens, and your signature that is needed to be appended on a particular thing must be appended on it. And your decision that have been expected to say yes or no on some particular issues, they are waiting for you to take it. Then you come up with some shabby decisions concerning a whole state or a whole nation. And I think that is what is keeping us where we are today. The wrong people in the right places. The right people, they are not in the right places. So I don't think it shows the incapacity and incapability of those people that dared it and are trying to retreat.
Okay.
The president should use it as a deterrent not to accept such people back into the system. They should just go and rest.
Dr. Emeka, are you surprised that some persons, highly placed politicians, rescinded their decision to pursue their political ambition in 2023 because they've been told you cannot contest and remain in Federal Executive Council? That was an order from President Muhammadu Buhari, and I just applauded that decision, that directive by the president. But are you surprised with this development?
Well, it's a shame. I'm not surprised because it's just like putting a new wine in an old bottle. The whole blame goes to the Mr. President. Just like Ambassador Andrew just said now. If he were in the shoe of Mr. President, he wouldn't have taken this shit.
He would have taken the decision to resign the ambition.
And come up again and said, yes, thank you. So the truth of the matter is that it has always been their system. Nigeria, where we are today, starts from the number one person. How can a minister wake up in the morning, carry 100 million naira? 100 million naira. We're not talking about 100,000. 100 million for an interest fund. And within space of few days, you say they are no longer interested. Money was not returned or refunded. Because I'm sure, Ambassador, you can prove me wrong. Was that money refunded?
You've collected your funds. You collected your funds. It's
so
not
you collected
refundable.
your form. It's not refunded.
You go to the coffers of the party.
And you return back and say they are not contesting.
You don't have anything to do with money.
You are a minister of labor. ASU strike is on ground. 100 million, for Christ's sake, can go a long way. If as a person you want to be a president of this country, you have 100 million to take an interest form indicating that yes, you want to contest as a president. And now it come up to say, the law came up to say by the president, before you pursue this ambition, resign. You just wake up overnight and decided you are no longer resigning, you want to return your office. The office you are not handling well. The lecturers under you are on strike. Children, our own children are home. When I was growing up as a child, I used to see some of men in the city, in the village, well, you know, a little bit rich in the village. They will take responsibility of paying some children's school fees to enable the children go to school, especially those their parents cannot afford. But this time around, parents are paying with their blood for their children to be educated, for their children to be in school. And lo and behold, somebody in charge of these offices are there collecting whatsoever parents are suffering with blood, enriching themselves. the serving minister brought out 100 million naira for an interest form. Agbalaho and Nigeria, we should look into this very well. That is where the corruption starts from. Mr. President alone himself supposed to say that, from where comes all this money? How did you get all this money? This is the time EFCC is supposed to come on board. How much is your salary in a year per annum? How did you acquire this kind of money? But I tell you, because they felt Nigerians cannot do anything, they will continue doing what they are doing. But I believe you, and they believe you me, time is coming. Nigeria will come up and say, enough is enough of this nonsense and rubbish. The problem is right from the presidency. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must not take it very lightly. As many of them that were able to purchase that form, that interest form, they should be queried. They should be asked how. EFCC, DSS, police, all the security apparatus, they should come up now and say, this is time they should prove themselves as people who are there for the protection of lives and properties of Nigerians. This is time Mr. President should prove himself that he is a president of Nigeria and is a man of integrity we used to know him as before. If he cannot act now, this is my opinion, it's even time for him to resign if he cannot do anything about this. We will talk about the other aspect of it when it comes to security. The bandits, the Boko Haram, what do you call it? What is the name of the other one?
ISIS.
IPOB.
And the whatever you may mention. Okay. Unknown gunmen. Unknown gunmen.
That's another serious scenario. We'll come to that.
I tell you, we will come to that.
Can I still talk about this 100 million?
Please do.
You know, this is politics. Politicians, they are very smart.
Okay.
Some of them, they have their agenda. You know, a party is not funded by a government. It is funded by the members of the party.
Okay.
The more you put in your money to fund the party, the more you are recognized, the more you are recompensated after election if you win. I think it's a strategy on some of them. I have bought a phone for 100 million. 100 million is a lot of money. And if Buhari leaves government, some of these ministers, they can be reappointed as ministers. I will tell you categorically, some of them are even negotiating for after Buhari's tenure.
With this kind of development?
Gimmicks, yes. Because at the end, I bought a phone for 100 million, I did not contest again. What about my money? And this is the money they're going to use in campaigning when election starts. And if they win, you want to tell somebody that invested 100 million not to get appointment.
What do you mean?
Not to get contract.
That 100 million is an investment.
It's an investment. You don't know politics. So most of them, they know what they are doing. They are trying to entangle the party, to involve the party. Such persons, when you are taking critical decisions in the party, you must call them. All those that bought forms, we have a meeting with Mr. President, you must be there. It's an investment. These are smart politicians. They know what they are doing. That is the only way you can trap the party, and the party cannot do without you. Your 100 million, you withdrew from the race. Now they will just leave you like that. You know, do you know what 100 million can do to the party when campaign starts? A lot. Because you have to go around the 36 states, campaigning, doing what. It's their money. So Buhari might not be able to come back. Some of them can be retained.
I'm happy you are a politician. You are giving us the mindset, the goings on, and what goes on in the mind of a politician. And I believe our viewer will begin to understand that some of these politicians know exactly what they are doing. Yes. Because we were really surprised. Somebody, bringing out the 100 million, and the next few days or thereabout comes out and announces to the public that he has consulted with his constituency. He has considered with his constituents, rather. He has discussed with his people. He doesn't want to contest again. 100 million not refunded. Refunded. Ambassador Andre, who is a politician, has just told us now that politicians are very smart and that it could be a strategy to really get involved in the next administration if that party wins. Yes. That's what he's saying. But I know Emeka is itching to make some comments.
Let me come in here, Agbalaho. Yeah, it's a strategy.
Yes.
We all know. And the ambassador has been able to make it very clear to us. I agree with you. But when you come into the area of corruption, a man, just like you are, sir, you're a manager by his grace in this exalted office. You're a manager. And the management knows how much is your salary. Is it not true?
Yes, that's correct.
And I wonder with your qualifications and your experience in this work, because I know when you were talking, when you were in charge of sports years back, it's long I started hearing your name.
Thank you.
And up to today, I am sure you don't have up to 3 cars in your car park.
Dr. Emeka, well, that's very personal. So that's very personal. But not the same. I know the point you are making.
Where I am coming from and where I want to kind of make my submission.
Yes.
The same person that brought out 100 million naira, 100 million naira is also occupying an office like you do, like I do. And they all of a sudden overnight, he said they are no more interested. 100 million naira is unrefundable. And we are waiting when they win election, will be compensated. Did you ever think whether you can win the election? You didn't think to that area. You didn't think what other people will talk about. That if you share 100 million in your village, I am convinced in my spirit they will see you as a king forever. And your interest is if you pay 100 million tomorrow, their party, your party will hold you to a very high extent. Your party will give you another slot tomorrow.
Doc, please, to save your breath. Listen, this 100 million can be defended by Ngigi or CDPC. I don't know, former governors. They are former governors. If you call in EFCC to say, oh, where did you get 100 million? He was a former governor, for God's sake. There are people, hundreds of people that can come and tell you that I donated, I contributed because of his good governance.
Most of them said people bought funds for them.
It is
so they collected funds by proxy. That was another, that's another angle to the story.
There are people that will come out in millions to say, he was my governor, he did very well. We were the people that different groups can come out.
Nigerians will always have a way.
That's what I'm saying. So defending that 100 million is like a tip on the iceberg. He will walk into EFCC and work out gallantly. And people will troop there to say, I own this business, I gave him 5 million. This one. At the end, they will say they are even waiting for him to start campaign.
That they are willing to give more. So, Nigerian politics. So that's what we are looking at.
It's a no-go.
Politicking in Nigeria ought to be a course that should be studied because there are a lot that you may not really understand within the 4 walls of an institution. But politicians like Andre Galoa will tell you this is the way it's done during meetings, during ward meetings, during local government meetings. You know, so you now have a better understanding of how politicians operate. I believe, as a presenter, politicians are people of great faith. Because sometimes you see a politician talking about an election that will come up in 10 years' time.
Of course.
They start preparing. They believe that they will be alive that time. Now, 2023 that we are talking about, some politicians have been making arrangements 5-6 years ago. Tomorrow, next year now is 2023.
Let me take you back.
Yeah.
When APC, they were looking for candidates to represent the party. Just for them to gain power, they zoned it to the north. Buhari was not interested. Because they knew he was a popular figure. With AIPP, he got 10 million votes or 14 million votes when he contested with Jonathan. They knew that was a bulk vote. Now, let's beg this man. That same sentiment of northern agenda, let him come. Buhari was, Tinubu was supposed to go. They said, no, you're from the southwest. You can't win the election. Let's go and bring Buhari. Buhari now said, I don't have money. We don't need your money. we need your personality. This thing, if we give it to a northerner, they will win. But after you finish, I will come in. That is Tinubu. We're talking about the plan you spoke about, ahead plan. That's 8 years ago. If Buhari finishes, I will come. And he has been strategizing. He was the first person to come out to start campaigning as we speak.
Yeah, but the other aspirants now, yes, I understand. The other aspirants now in APC,
So, like, what am I saying? 8 years plan.
The plan ahead. They have faith.
They know where
Dr. Emeka, you are a clergyman. So the kind of faith that politicians have is really amazing. I know pastors will be amazed.
It's amazing.
Yes, they have faith for long-term plan.
It's amazing.
So it's only God that will make them not actualize their plans as a strategist. So that is how it works. And again, if you... I was watching television the other day, looking at the aspirants.
Yeah.
It's our young Yahya Bello. He was,
the governor of Kogi State.
That is aspiring to be a president. In his propaganda, in his manifesto, he was talking about agriculture. I will provide agriculture. And I asked I looked at all. He didn't mention that he's going to tackle security. How do you give people food without an enabling environment for that food to be created when there's insecurity everywhere? I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
The problem we are facing in Nigeria now is the problem of insecurity. Anybody that wants to rule or govern Nigeria, your first point of call, your first area of constituency to tackle is insecurity. What we are experiencing today in Nigeria, for God's sake, I know my age. I know how Nigeria was like 45 years ago. I know what we are experiencing right now. So that issue of Yahya Bello, because it's better you deceive us. So, like this administration deceived us that in 6 months, Boko Haram will be a thing of the past, and Boko Haram
I wouldn't accept that they deceived you. It's possible they had that intention, but they have challenges.
They are waxing stronger.
They have challenges.
It is campaign. Listen, in politics, don't say what you can do. You think you are fooling, or you are fooling yourself. If it's 1 or 2 things you can do, tell the people, so that they can hold you responsible when you enter power. Oh, this is what you promised. Or don't go about blabbing, I will do this, I will do that, just to tarnish the image of your opponent to gain power. So the current Minister of Energy today, Fashola, in 2013 he said, look at, I'm quoting him.
Yeah.
A responsible government should be able to give its citizens light within 6 months. Where will you carry such campaign to, and you will not win in that area? Nigeria will not be getting light. Somebody said it's going to give us light in 6 months. Won't you vote that person? And somebody comes to tell you, this light problem we're having, as soon as I enter, I will try as much as possible to see if we can restore light to Nigeria. This man is not serious. You won't vote for him. But the one that said 6 months, you will vote for that person. Then, luckily for our smart president, oh, good, take that ministry. And that is where we are today.
Actualize it.
Actualize it. It's not giving an excuse, so you don't do that. Yahya Bello has said it that he's not going to tackle insecurity. So you won't hold him responsible tomorrow when you vote him into. He said, I will give you agriculture. He didn't say I didn't say. I'm quoting from a white man's angle.
Yes.
From English. Did I promise you I will tackle insecurity? No.
Campaign has not started. When campaign starts, we'll now know exactly what he wants to do. Exactly. Yeah, Dr. Emeka, you have any comment on this before we move on to the next
on
stage?
Security?
No, this same politicking, yes.
Well, Nigerians politicians has always been smart. Like Ambassador earlier said, my more contribution in the area of politicking is that we, those who have PVC, should try to be wiser now. We should not just look at somebody who come here and said, I'm going to make sure you fire everybody and water everybody and blah, 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 blah. And we're falling into a kind of trap. I am of opinion that those who will come out to campaign, we should be able to be sure what they're campaigning and what they are saying is exactly what they are. We're no longer kids. We've seen decades of politics and the elections in this country.
Okay.
So I am of opinion that whomever come around now, no matter the money, we've been saying it time with that number in area of their politics to see if they can induce us with all this. I am of opinion that Nigerians should open their eyes very brighter now And surely 2023, we are going to get it right.
Thank you. We'll just take a brief break now on the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. We're always delighted to know that you're spending your 60 minutes with us, a part of your 60 minutes with us on the program. After this break, we'll continue. We're looking at security and politicking ahead of the 2023 elections. Nice to have you back on the program. Just joining us is a lecturer and, of course, a very seasoned analyst on national issues, Dr. Maxwell Osage. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Yes.
We are talking about security and politicking, and my guests have just analyzed the politicking aspects of today's discussion. But we'll allow Dr. Maxwell to make his contribution to the issue. We've talked about aspirants, especially for the APC. There was a directive from Mr. President: if you have ambition in 2023, kindly resign and pursue your ambition. And we saw that there was a reversal of decisions. Some of the ministers said, no, I've not resigned. I want to continue as minister. Is it that there's an interest in their ministry that supersedes their political ambition, Dr. Maxwell?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, viewers. Indeed, we actually proud to when the announcement was made, even proud to when we started seeing them going for form,
yes,
etc. We knew them, we knew the antecedent, we knew all these people before now, so there is nothing strange about them. Someone that cannot even get 3 votes out of his 5 children, to get 3 votes from them is buying 100 million votes for who? Nigeria. You cannot just get 3 votes in your own house, domestic house, and you are saying you want to contest as president. We knew that that was not it. At a point, I was also considering buying form.
To be president.
Yeah, if not that.
No, but the youths, you know, we need the youth, so you should have gone ahead.
It's just that something, the bank didn't give me the. No, because at the time I was also trying to participate in the politicking aspect of it.
Yes.
Indeed, what you saw is business. And what you saw there is business.
Yes.
And nothing strange. You cannot buy a form with such amount without having a stake in what is to be done,
yes,
later in the day.
Okay.
So what they just did was to cement their own attribute in terms of the end product of what the whole thing will not translate to. So to believe that these same people will resign before now, no, forget it. We know that they just went there to buy form. Now, ego was also there. Let me show off, etc., etc. But the end product of it is this. This is just politicking. Let my name ring and let the political party. Where do you think they will get the money they will use to run the election? Do you think to conduct election in this country for a political party is just a 3 billion era for presidency? No, it's not 4 billion. Have you not heard when allocations are given to state? We're talking about billions here and everything. So what you saw there, in an attempt to kind of create a more systematic way that we generated our money ourselves, so that fingers will not start pointing and pointing and pointing. All those things you saw there was meeting before meeting. So the natural meeting you were seeing in the television, there was a meeting before meeting. Let everybody just use this method to contribute to the affair and add to what we have before, then we run the government.
Okay,
so
but why I will not agree with you 100% on that is that why some said, oh, will not resign, will remain as ministers. Others said they will pursue their political ambition, like Amechi.
Who else again, outside Amechi? We know who are candidates. We know those that are candidates. Proud to today. We knew quite all right before today that the people that are going, if you listen to Tinubu, even proud to now, see when politicians talk, thank God our father is here.
Yes.
See, read between their lines of words, not just you just take it. Read between, yes, evaluate it critically. Then you will not see the underneath. the minute they are in.
Yes.
So I've taken time to listen to Tinubu before now and everything. At a point, they started differentiating between aspirant and candidate. Hello. Arrested.
Okay, so it's becoming interesting. Politicians have their own language, and but like I said it before, I said it should be studied. Politicians should be studied. Nigerian politicians should be studied. Yeah. Okay, now, Dr. Emeka, now the issue of security in the southeast, we have unknown gunmen. Only yesterday, it happened in Asaba, unknown gunmen, because there was a viral video threatening that they must join the southeast states to sit at home. And the Commissioner of Police in Delta said, no, nothing like that, don't sit at home. So people went about their business, and they struck yesterday. Now, we've heard of how some INEC activities were postponed indefinitely in the southeast. We know what is happening in the northeast zone of the country. Now, this insecurity, if not tackled, do you think there will be election?
Well, thank you for that wonderful question. Okay. Remember the last time we came in here on this same issue of insecurity, I told you we pray, but I doubt if there will be election in 2023. We just talk about politicking. These are all measures. Why did I say so? When there are insecurity in a particular zone, how do you think people will come out to vote? That is a problem already. You go to the northeast, you go to just every part of the nation, Nigeria, you will find out there is nowhere you have 100% peace. We've been seeing issues of robbery in the past, but this time around it's not robbery. A young man in Edo State here is contesting for Edo State House of Assembly. Yeah. And on his way to Okada, he was kidnapped. Up till now, nobody has known his whereabouts. And I still come back to talk about Mr. President, and when it comes to insecurity in this country, he has everything it takes to make sure issue of insecurity should be a thing of bygone. But he has not taken a stand. It beats my imagination. I get too much worried about it. Insecurity everywhere. If you don't give it one name, you change it to another thing. Unknown gunmen. Where are they from? Look at what happened in Sokoto the last time. I was amazed when there was a publication by the police that one of the suspects caught ran away. He's from Niger. Where did he pass? Where? Who smuggled him out of Nigeria to Niger? How did you know he's from Niger? Don't we have Interpol? If he ran to Niger, can't we use Interpol to bring him back again to Nigeria? That is not enough, sir. Okay. Insecurity in Nigeria is now a cankerworm.
That must be tackled.
It must.
That's why we are here today, because we're going to find solution to this problem. Because we need to tackle insecurity.
Now, how do we get to it? Okay. Both of us are here. I know who is by my side. You can't tell me you don't know these people. When election time comes, when do you use for thuggery? Who are the politicians using for thuggery? The same people who comes to tell us they're going to fix this, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Who stands behind you? Who carry ballot paper? On behalf of who? We know all these things. And if we genuine Nigerians can stand up and say, you cannot be there, because if you are there, you will send Nigeria like what I showed the ambassador. It was like a play. Yeah. I just showed him in a handset few minutes ago here. Okay. And he laughed when he watched it. You can't take us backwards where we are now. You take us back to about 10 years back to where we are now. There will be nothing like Nigeria in existence again.
Okay, Doctor, we'll come back to you. We know that Nigeria will exist. We know that the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct. We know that the presidency, Mr. President, is doing everything possible. He's doing everything possible to ensure that there's security. There was the issue of need to change service chiefs. We clamored, even in this program, and it changed the service chiefs. Now, the security challenges are still there. We hope that they will formulate new ideas. Probably my guests will be able to give advice that will help. So we'll come to Andre Galua. Now, for election in 2023 to hold, there must be security. So how do we tackle this problem to ensure that there's election next year?
Well, I would say the election we are expecting next year, the numbers of Nigerians that will come out to vote are not what are supposed to come out.
You think there'll be voter apathy?
Yeah.
There'll be fear?
Fear. In areas like the northeast, considering what is happening over there. I would say Nigeria is faced with unprecedented difficulty, security difficulties in the areas of kidnapping, banditry, robbery, and all social vices. Yeah. To me, I think we are experiencing war in Nigeria. I keep saying it, conventional war. Don't think because Nigeria is so large, with over 200 million citizens, maybe it's not conversant with those of us here, we think Nigeria is safe. If I was in the north, I can't even sleep and close my two eyes. Especially in the northeast. I wonder how the people living there, how they are coping. Yeah. It is strange. And I still hold our leaders responsible for this insecurity. Ask me how. Now, a group like Boko Haram that has been labeled a terrorist group by the international community. And Nigeria is not ready to accept that. And Boko Haram started like 10 years ago, like a child's play, and it has snowballed into something else, whereby our leaders at various intervals, governors, security, will go and meet them in their place and be negotiating with them. When you talk about negotiation, money must be involved, inducement must be involved. And at times, there was a time they said, okay, amnesty to Boko Haram members. Now you are granting these people...
Repentant.
Repentant.
Yes.
Fine. Language. You granted them amnesty, the repentant ones. And let me tell you, who is a terrorist? Let me define a terrorist for you. A terrorist is somebody that is heartless, that is ready to die and be killed at any time. It's no more a human being. Now, you are now granting such a person amnesty, and you are recruiting and integrating and harnessing such a person into your force.
Federal government debunked that.
That was what we read. If they do, then what are you expecting from such person that has in his DNA terrorism? You are exposing such a person or such persons to your arms where they are kept. To me, I feel the proliferation of arms within the country today starts from those people. They are now wearing uniform. They are now our military people. They know how to shoot. They know everything about arms. They walk in there and they can hire, they can steal them, sell and hire for people. That's why you see provision of arms everywhere. You are granting amnesty. Psychologically, looking at this person, you know where he's coming from. Why don't you grant amnesty to such persons, take them to the farms, take them far? They shouldn't go close to arms. They now give them uniform, authorizing them to not carry guns. Who is to be held responsible?
So how do we tackle insecurity?
To tackle insecurity, our leaders must be ready. When I mean ready, they should know what they want and how they go about it. One thing they fail to understand is that, oh, I'm a governor, I'm a president, can use helicopter, I can use plane to do. What about your relatives? Was it last year or so? The speaker of Bayelsa State, the mother was kidnapped right in her house. The son was busy using siren to give way to go to wherever he was going, but they kidnapped your mother. There are cases, so we always put ourselves in the shoes of everybody. Let us take this security issue seriously. Otherwise, Nigeria cannot move forward.
Before I let you go, what's your advice to government?
My advice to the government is that they should come out real.
What do you think they should have done that they have not done?
I think most times our security chiefs, they shout, oh, no money, no arms, we don't have money. They keep voting money. They should monitor the money
the expenditure, military expenditure,
and the personnel behind those spendings properly. Close monitoring.
Okay, thank you. We'll come back to you. Dr. Maxwell, now you have the floor. Insecurity, if not tackled, some persons are skeptical about the conduct of the election, that there might be no popular vote, there might be no, for election to be said to be credible, it means Nigerians should participate. But if there's apathy, there's fear, that could scare some voters. So this insecurity, this monster, what's your advice to government? How do we tackle this problem?
First of all, election will hold.
Okay, that's a good one.
No, election will hold. There's one thing I've come to find out about Nigerian politicians. What's that? Did they tell you that they don't know these people? As hot as Anambra election, when you had killing here and there, few days to the election, sure you saw the way the government took over the entire state. Was there election in Anambra, yes or no?
It was election.
Even after all the rise and force statement by the Attorney General to create confusion in the name of politicking for APC and everything, was there election? These people, the insecurity you and I are discussing right here, is only you and I that is disadvantaged on this matter. From our analysis so far, it's a business to the leadership of the country.
I disagree with you.
Yes.
I disagree with you.
Everything rises and falls on a leader. When Doc says something that the president has all it takes to lay insecurity overnight, I don't think he has it. He doesn't. I don't think he has the will and the wherewithal to actually say enough is enough to all this class of leaders who have succeeded. No insecurity happens by poor men. Can they buy gun? Where would they see gun? Just like he said. Where would they see all this thing? So the fact is this, they know those who are perpetrating this crime. If you listen to Governor El-Rufai one time, these things are not, it's not a science rocket, they know. Yeah. Now the greatest problem we have institutional problem. What I meant by institutional problem is this. Now just imagine, between 2 days of a minister saying I have resigned, tender my resignation, a president has not been able to issue whether that resignation should stay or not. For 2, 3, 4, we are going there now, sir. And the same people who tender resignation were in effect meeting yesterday. Now you are telling me it has all it takes? No, it has nothing. The greatest mistake we made in 2015 is that we thought the president that we knew before now, good man, great man, that with the military tendency and everything, he has the courage. See, what we need in this country is not a clap and follow matter. We need a courageous leader that will say, no is no, yes is yes.
They will fight you.
Yes. So we should stop this issue. Yes, we will. I know it's like that. It's everywhere. They will fight you, and that is the correct. That is the courage that the president doesn't have at the moment. So to solve this problem is an institutional problem. All this set of leaders that we are talking about, they know them. Do I know? You think if police want to work overnight and fetch out all the criminal elements in this state, they will bring them before you and lay them here and everything. So the bottom line is this: to solve insecurity in this country, I think it's high time a courageous leader stand firm to say, my brother, I know you have all it takes to make this thing stop in your region. Harness all these people together. Because one thing I've come to find out globally that people use is to create acrimony or uncertainty in a state and everything is this insecurity.
even other country, even infiltrate your country, making it unbalanced. And as we speak, this insecurity matter is not just within us here. There are external forces that are backing this same set of leaders that is making some president to say or governor to say, if I talk now, the power that be over there, based on the assistance that I get and everything. But it's high time we get people like Gaddafi that is never interested in what you will bring as an external person. Let what we have solve what we want. Not until we get to this level to get a leader that will not say, please, an institution, if you see something, nail it like that and be full support. All the commissioner of police, call them one by one, AIG or IG, they are ready to work. If and only if they can just get a final verdict from the president or the governor and say, nail this thing overnight, whatsoever comes out of it, I'm in full support. But because they don't have that assurance, they are skeptical. Because if they do that, at their back,
which assurance do they need? The president has been talking. We've seen that anybody with AK-47 should be dealt with. What do you want the president to do again?
What you see on television, if a politician comes to tell you something, A on television, take the B. I'm telling you, I at least have studied them and everything. A politician tells you A in television, take B. If they say no, take yes. That's how it works.
Thank you, Dr. Maswa. Your closing remarks, Dr. Emeka.
I want to appreciate what our governor here in Edo State is doing as per security. I think, was it the day before yesterday or thereabout?
A new head for the vigilante?
Yes.
Edo Security Network has gotten a retired colonel?
Colonel, yes.
Okay.
And with his experience, I think he will be able to monitor that aspect very well. And there is another thing he did. He introduced what do you call it, public security, which a woman also is the commissioner in that, Mrs. Omololus, Omolala, right, is the commissioner of public security. And the woman has been going all out and out, holding meeting, calling people, communities, and what have you, making sure that, look, this boundary issue, as long as security is concerned, if you allow this to escalate more than this, it will cause issue. The woman has been walking around the clock, moving around, and having meeting with the security, senior state security personnel, day and night. I think it's a welcome development.
Okay.
And in Edo State, we are getting it a little bit.
Okay.
The only challenge we're having here, and I look forward that the governor should also match action with words, or match words with action, is the influence of these little houses.
No, we'll not allow that.
I'm coming.
We'll not allow you to say that.
I'm coming, sir. Yes. I'm coming.
Nigeria, anybody can.
You have
free movement.
You have rights, sir.
You can move from any part of the country.
Let me come.
So long as you don't commit crime.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you that all of them are coming in here, coming with bad agenda, or they comes in because they want to cause havoc in this state. I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
But it has to be checked.
Monitored.
It has to be monitored.
Okay.
That's true. It
Thank
has
you.
to be monitored. Those inside the forest, the kidnappers on the road and whatever, we don't even know where they come from. Just overnight here, you see, you drop this on a carry bike. You've not been in the state before, but once they drop it from trailer, you enter bike. Where are you heading to?
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Emeka. A quick one, your closing remark, Andrew.
At this point, I want to thank our amiable governor. That is visionary. It is few people that have that tendency to say, let us take precautionary motive before it happens. It's only in the Western world you experience things like that. But the governor of Edo State, because of this insecurity issue, has been able to, spread so many tentacles to curb it, so that it will generate to another level. We start running kitty. The governor, was it last month, a peace council, security peace council was inaugurated, which I am a member.
Yes.
To help reduce this insecurity and bring peace to Edo State. And we started working under the United Nations Peace Council. We are by 18 that were inaugurated by, he was represented by the Commissioner for Safety and Security.
Okay. Okay.
And we are working so
Thank
that
you.
it won't get to the extent
One
that,
piece.
of course,
I'm happy to hear that.
No,
one
nothing can try.
A quick one, Dr. Master, a quick one.
Yeah, indeed. Security will be solved if and only if the federal government can just say to themselves, allow each state to manage their affair.
Okay. State police.
State police. Yeah, let them just manage their affair.
Okay.
Remove your hand. Allow just what our governor is doing. I believe the other governor will replicate. You saw the Soludo, how he went to meet one. I don't want to go too
prescribe
far.
IPOB leader.
So just allow them to handle their peculiarity. You stay in Abuja, handle the central and the international.
Thank you, Dr. Maxwell.
And everything.
That's the program for this week, 60 Minutes Nigeria. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion. My guests have been very fantastic. And next week we'll be here again with a different set of guests, and we'll be looking at another topic. My name is Ego Sagmala. Bye-bye.
Thank you.